Hey gang, and welcome back. These videos are brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your unused collection fast and easily. 401 Games, Canada's top shop for all your hobby and TCG needs. Dragon Shield, the strongest sleeves for your strongest decks. Moxfield, the easiest way to store and share your deck lists. And Foil Armor, flatten your foils fast. Cowabunga, Material wins a die roll, starting us off. He draws and plays a swamp. Arja plays a mountain. Sammy's land for turn is a flooded strand, and he sacrifices it, going to find a land while he passes. Max plays a swamp, and has that fabled turn 1 Soul Ring. Mathieu plays a Swarmyard, and then pays 2 mana for a rat colony. Arja plays a mountain, and pays 2 mana for a tap Fire Diamond. Sammy draws, plays a Glacial Fortress, and passes. Max's turn 2 has him casting an Ophiomancer, and he plays a Cryptic Caves. Mathieu's got a swamp, and pays enough mana for Rat King. He then swings the Rat Colony at Max. Max trades with it with the snake token he made on Mathieu's upkeep from the Ophiomancer, and Mathieu puts a counter onto the Rat King. He makes a rat token as well, and passes. Arja's got a mountain, and casts Thermo Alchemist. He then casts Pyroclasm. With the spell on the stack, Mathieu regenerates the Rat King with his Swarmyard, and Arja passes after that. Sammy's main phase has him casting Knight of the White Orchid, and he goes to find a Meticulous Archive, and gets to Surveil 1 as it comes in. He then plays a Razortide Bridge, which also comes in tapped, and passes. Max's turn has him casting Super Shredder, and he then pays 1 colorless for the Ozolith. Matt's got a swamp and casts Heraldic Banner, naming black. He then casts another Rat Colony, and going to combat swings the Rat King and Arja, who takes the hit for 3. Matt passes after that. Arja draws, plays a mountain, and casts Slash. He ships it after that. Sammy's main phase has a Dig Site Engineer coming in, and he then plays a Glasspool Shore and passes. Max draws and casts, sacrificing Super Shredder to him, and draining Arja for 1 and drawing a card. It's not a land though, so he just passes turn. Matt's got a swamp, and casts 2 Rat Colonies in his main phase. He swings one of them at Arja for 6, who takes the hit. Matt then passes, and during the end step, Arja pings everyone with a Thermo Alchemist. Arja's got a mountain, and activates his Thermo Alchemist again. He then casts Burn Down the House, and picks the mode to make Devils. And with the spell in the stack, Sammy responds with the Swords to Plowshares on Slash. Arja then untaps his Thermo Alchemist, and passes after that. Sammy draws and main phase casts a Fairy Artisans, and ships it after that. Max has got a swamp, and casts Chthonian Nightmare. He gains some energy, and bounces it back to hand, sacrificing Sephiroth to bring back his Ophiomancer. This has Sammy also gaining a token copy of the Ophiomancer as it comes in. He then recasts the Nightmare, and passes. During the end step, Mathieu sacrifices 3 Rat Colonies to the Rat King, and he brings back 4 Rat Colonies as a result. This also has Sammy replacing the Ophiomancer token with a Rat Colony token. Matt draws and casts 2 Rat Colonies, and sends 4 of his Rat Colonies that can attack at Sammy. Sammy trades with 3 of them, but still takes a total of 9. Mathieu then makes a Rat token off the Rat King during his end step, and passes. Arja also uses this as a chance to activate his Thermal Alchemist, dealing 1 to his opponents. Arja draws, and casts Jaya, Venerated Fire Mage. He downticks her on the white of the Night Orchid, and ships it after that. Sammy's main phase has him casting Dawn and Leo, and he then moves to his end step, blinking the Razortide Bridge, and passing. Max draws and casts a Bloodghast, and then swaps it for Sephiroth with his Chthonian Nightmare. Max then plays a Bloodstained Mire and gets back his Bloodghast, and he cracks the Mire, going to find a swamp. He then continues by casting Super Shredder. With the spell on the stack, Mathieu responds by sacrificing his rat colonies to bring them all back. With nothing else, Max passes. Matt's land for turn is a Nykthos, and he swings all of his rat colonies at Max. Max blocks 4 of them, but takes a total of 20. With the creatures getting taken out, he gets some Sephiroth triggers, and he drains Mathieu and Arja with them. Matt continues to grow the Rat King, and then makes a rat token on the end step and passes. During the end step as well, Arja pings everyone for 2 thanks to Jaya and the Thermo Alchemist. Arja's main phase has him drawing, and then activating the Alchemist, and then casts Demand Answers, sacrificing his Fire Diamond to help pay for the cost. He draws 2 and untaps the Alchemist, and then plays a Mountain and casts Torbran. Sammy draws and casts an Amphin Mutineer. As it comes in, he targets Torbran, and Arja activates the Alchemist in response. This has each opponent taking 3, and Torbran is then exiled. Sammy then plays a Windbrisk Heights, which comes in tapped, and he hides away a card. Going to his end step, Dawn and Leo blink the Mutineer. This time around he targets the Rat King, which has Mathieu activating him to bring back rat colonies in response. Max draws and casts Invasion of Fiora, choosing both modes. He gives it to Sammy to defend it, and Mathieu regenerates a rat in response. And with the Devils getting taken out, Arch sends their triggers at Matt, and Max plays a Myriad Landscape as his land for turn, which comes in tapped, but brings back his Bloodghast. Matt's got a swamp, and recasts the Rat King. He then casts a rat colony, and swings the other one at Jaya to take her out. Matt passes after that. Arja's main phase has him playing a Mountain, and casting Chandra, Fire Artisan. He upticks her, exiling a card, and he casts Teralf's Hammer, and passes. Sammy draws, playing a Windswept Heath, and cracking it for a Plains. He then casts Panharmonicon, and follows up with Malcator, which as it comes in, makes him 2 Golem tokens. He then moves to his end step, making a 3rd Golem token thanks to Malcator's trigger, and passes to Max. Max draws and swings his Bloodghast at Chandra, dealing 2. With the loyalty counters being removed, Arja gets to ping Max for 2 with her trigger, and Max continues his turn with the Chthonian Nightmare. He swaps the Bloodghast for his Ophiomancer again. He continues by playing a Swamp, which brings back the Bloodghast, and then recasts the Chthonian Nightmare again, and uses it to swap the Bloodghast for Sephiroth. In response to Sephiroth's trigger, Max sacrifices his Myriad Landscape, bringing back the Bloodghast again, and sacrifices it to draw a card and drain Arja for 1. After that, Max passes. Matt draws and casts a rat colony. He then sends 2 colonies at Arja, dealing 12. Matt then sacrifices the Rat King and 2 colonies and gets back 7 rat colonies as a result. Matt then activates his Nykthos, making a ton of mana, and recasts the Rat King. Moving to his end step, he gets a rat token and passes. Arja draws and upticks Chandra, hitting Hate Mirage. He then casts it, copying Malcator and Sephiroth. Sephiroth in turn sacrifices Malcator, and both Max's and Arja's Sephiroth triggers go at Matt. Going to combat, Arja then swings his Sephiroth at Matt, and sacrifices the Golem token, and Matt gets drained for 2 again thanks to both Sephiroths, and Matt then moves to block and chump with a rat token. Matt gets drained yet again, and Arja then casts a Chain Reaction. Matt responds by regenerating his Rat King with Swarmyard, and Arja and Max get 15 Sephiroth triggers each. They come to an agreement to take out Matt and Sammy with their triggers, and send none of them at each other, and bringing the game down to a duel, and they both agree, and Arja passes after that. Max's land for turn is a Malkir Mire, and he gets back his Bloodghast. He follows up with No Mercy, and then recasts his Chthonian Nightmare. he swaps a Bloodcast for his Ophiomancer again. And Max continues by casting Mask of Grizzlebrand and passing. Arja upticks Chandra in his main phase and plays a Mountain. He casts Court of Embereth, becoming the Monarch, and moves to his end step, drawing. Max plays Urborg and gets back Bloodghast. He sends the Ophiomancer and the Snake token at Chandra, and Max takes 3 from her as she loses loyalty counters. Max then recasts Super Shredder and uses his Nightmare to swap Bloodcast for Sephiroth, and then sacrifices a Snake token as Sephiroth comes in to draw a card. He then continues by recasting the Nightmare and passing. Arja makes a Night token on his upkeep and draws. He upticks Chandra, playing a Mountain, and then casts Flame Break to wipe the board. This has Arja getting drained for the Sephiroth triggers, and he then casts Reinforced Ronin, and equips Toralf's Hammer to it. Arja then unequips the hammer and deals 3 to Max, and bounces the Ronin. He then moves to end step, drawing from being the Monarch. Max's turn has him drawing, playing a Swamp, and he brings back Bloodghast. He then swaps it for Shredder using the Chthonian Nightmare, and recasts the Nightmare after bouncing it back to his hand, and follows up by casting Shahudun. Max then sacrifices him to the Nightmare, bringing back the Ophiomancer, and he casts Braids, Arisen Nightmare. Max then continues by recasting the Nightmare and swapping Braids for Sephiroth. He then moves to combat and puts the Ozolith counters onto Sephiroth and passes, while during the end step, Arja cycles his Ronin from his hand. Arja's turn has him making a Knight on his upkeep, and he draws and then upticks Chandra. He follows up by casting Toralf, and then a Hearthborn Battler. And he passes, drawing from being the Monarch. Max draws and casts a Wasteland Raider, paying the squad cost twice, which has Arja responding with a Lightning Axe to remove Sephiroth. Arja's board then gets wiped, and Max keeps a Wasteland Raider around by sacrificing a Snake token. This has Super Shredder gaining 7 counters, and Max equips the mask onto him, and then goes to combat and moves the Ozolith counters onto the Ophiomancer. He then swings Super Shredder at Arja, and the Ophiomancer at the Invasion. Arja takes the hit for 12 commander damage, and the Invasion flips. This has Max gaining the Monarchy, and he passes, drawing during the end step. Arja makes a Knight on his upkeep, draws, and upticks Chandra. He plays a Mountain, and then casts Fanatic Mogus. With the ability on the stack, he flashes in a Dictate of Twin Gods. This has Max taking 14, and the Fanatic gets taken out to no mercy though. After that, Arja passes. Max draws, casts Dothi Embrace, and then swings everything at Arja to win the game. Game review time. So I was kind of hesitant about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle commanders, but a lot of the legendaries from the set are actually kind of fun. Super Shredder's great, and I really like Slash, although we didn't get to see Arja do all that much with him this game. Donnie and Leo again also didn't get to showcase too much of what they did, although Max said that he built it around blinking artifacts, so that could be interesting. And Rat King was cool, but I feel like it's an archetype we've already seen, it's just another flavor of it. I do think Ashcoat might be slightly better, but the idea of being able to sacrifice 3 rat colonies to bring back all of your rat colonies does seem particularly spicy. This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, but it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.